What up, TikTok? Hey, hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hey, don't let anything that's negative in your life dictate the rest of your life. Does that make sense? Hey, we all go through some hard times. We all go through some emotional stressors, maybe at work, maybe at home, whatever it may be. Don't let that dictate who you are and how you react to the rest of the things that life throws at you. Does that make sense? Like if you're feeling pissed off and angry all morning or all day, you're going to take that energy and you're going to present it to everybody else that surrounds you, your loved ones, your soldiers, whoever it may be. You're going to use that negative energy and it's just going to make everything worse. Try to be positive. Pick something positive in life that's going really well. Use that positive energy and let that dictate the rest of your day. We can harp on the negatives. We can harp on the bad things that are going on in life. It's not going to help us. It's not going to help us move forward. Stay strong, keep pushing, drive on. Happy Friday.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Hitting you up this morning with a special promo on how to dress when you are doing PT in civilians, but you want everybody to know you're an Army. This comes from the Buddy Beckwith fashion design of how to work out. So first, you can notice the RI panties, not Ranger panties, but Ranger instructor panties, the green socks, the knee brace for the old guys. Don't forget the M frames. Now the shirt, don't wear the Trash Talk shirt while you're running. This is just for the promo. You want to put on like an 80-second shirt or like your favorite airborne shirt so everybody knows that you're a veteran. That's the most important thing. And you start with this stretch. Buddy Beckwith taught me this one. Ready to go.
So, I'm walking out of the gas station and my co-worker, who's an old MP, but we still claim him, and has engaged the man in conversation. Not much for conversation with strangers, but he's got the tab. So as I walk by, I say airborne, and the man responds with, and I quote, "Hoorah." So after I instructed my coworker to slash every single tire before he put the car in gear, I look for the biggest rock. As I crow hop to throw it through his back window so he can stop posing as one of us, I actually wake up and realize that the man's ignorance had incapacitated me for a moment, and I was daydreaming. I mean, because in that moment you got two options. I chose the third option and said, "Incorrect. That's an incorrect response." And I kept walking. The man said nothing and he pulled away. So you tell me, what is it, a stolen valor thing? No Marine's gonna have an airborne tab, and no paratrooper's gonna say an hoorah. So you tell me, stolen valor?
Hey, y'all, I'm going to work. I left you a note on the refrigerator. I love y'all. I'm gonna go.
Hey, go get dressed. Get ready for school.
You're doing great. We're just tooling around, tooling along. Shit! Bad guy! Stop!
Let me break it down Barney style.
Today's show is brought to you by the Farkas Group at the Veterans Mortgage Source. Are you looking for a team you can trust for your mortgage needs? The Farkas Group is our trusted partner on the podcast. I serve with Zach, and he will definitely give you the best rate possible. Their goal is to educate veterans across the country on their earned VA home loan benefit. If you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, reach out to these guys for competitive rates or any information you may need on obtaining a VA mortgage for your property. They are licensed in multiple states. If they are not licensed in the state that you live in, they will still give you the advice that you need and the rates you should be looking for.
Going on, everybody? What up, Trash Talkers? What up, Gruntworks community? We are back. Welcome to episode 56 of the Trash Talk Hour. Shout out to our sponsors, Zach Farkas with the Veteran Mortgage Source and 10th Mountain Whiskey. Type in VTT and get yourself a discount. Special guest today is former paratrooper, airborne, David Flores. And today I'm joined by Nick, Buddy, and Joe. Over to you, Joe. Let the dumpster fire commence.
All right. Well, I'm first of all going to recognize our guest because when Nick told me that Flores was coming on, I thought he was still mad at me from the time I stepped on his foot when he had an ingrown toe, but apparently he's gotten over it. And this guy ages like wine. That's what he looked like in 2006 when we deployed. Anyways, so excited to have one of our guys on that went down to Patrol Base Olson so Buddy can hear more stories about what it was like. And Nick always asked me, hey, what had you triggered this week? And honestly, it was nothing. But the week was fantastic.
No way. No fucking way, Joe. No way. Stop lying. You got me triggered for saying that.
I'm fucking triggered now.
Hey, look, it was a good week, man. We closed on a house. We're getting ready to dial everything in here in North Carolina, head back to Michigan. It's the perfect spot on the world famous 9 Mile. Thanks, Marshall Mathers. We know each other. It's all right. But no, man, it's good to be going back home and around family. And it definitely brings me to a pretty valid point that we've got a fantastic team. And I know I preach it a lot, but Kevin Travers has been absolutely worth his weight in gold since he came on. And I'm going to miss the shit out of that dude. I love working with him. And I'll just tell you a quick, this is who Kevin is when it comes to VTT.
Where's he going?
Cause. What's that?
Where's
He's not
he going?
anywhere. He's not going anywhere, but I live a half hour away from him now and I'm moving back up to Michigan. So what I'm saying is, when we went down to West Palm Beach and moved the store, all right, had to happen. Wife's getting ready to give birth. I needed the room. I'm telling Kevin, I'm like, hey, I need somebody, blah, blah, blah. And Kevin's like, yeah, let's go. 4 days later, before we take off, he goes, hey, man, where are we going? He knew it was like a 10-hour drive, and it could have been Bismarck, North Dakota. But for the cause, Kevin was like, yeah, man, let's go. No problem. Road trip, bro. And I was like, you didn't know where we were going the whole time? And you were just cool with it? He's like, yeah, bro, it's a road trip. So, Kevin, you're the fucking man. I appreciate everything you've done for this company, man. And I can't wait to work with you further. I'm just going to have to get a little more slick and do it remote style. But that, and I got to see Letha Hazelwood in person for the first time. So another one of our very coveted.
We love you, Air Force. We love you.
Assets and our Air Force liaison. But came out of her way with a couple of kids to come see me and my family. So it's all love. We got a killer team. And I'm excited to get to this new chapter in Michigan, and I can't wait, man, to be around family. So, Flores, I love the fact that you're here, brother. My first roommate on Fort Bragg, and he was probably thinking, why did they stick me with this shitbag? This guy's always in trouble, because Dave can tell you I was not a good Garrison soldier.
Always
Flores squared away like a freaking
You did a lot
speed
of
square,
push-ups,
and
Joe.
I
just
was
made you
always
strong.
Our room had an NCO in it, and a lot of times, but it wasn't because of Flores. But anyways,
I got smoked so many times because of Joe.
Yeah, one time me and
So
Williams
many
went down to a Charlotte Hornets game on a Tuesday night and got stuck in Charlotte, and Nick had to counsel us the next day, like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? It's Tuesday. But anyways, I digress. That's all I got, man. It's been a good week. Happy to be here. Over to you, buddy.
It would behoove everybody to listen.
Buddy, I got triggered there. So hold on, buddy. I got triggered there. I didn't actually counsel him. It was a verbal counseling. All right.
He was so fucking mad at us, dude. Nick was like, "What are you guys doing?"
I had to be like I'm your friends. I'm that corporal, kind of guy that like doesn't want to be like in charge of you. And then it's like, you do that? It's like, seriously? Now they got to move you. Now you got to go to somebody who's going to square you away, because Nick's not going to do it. I'm going to be like, yeah,
Garrison and I were like oil and water, man. It did not mix.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Sorry.
Buddy, do something before you lose service.
Buddy, show your home first before you start talking.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service, buddy.
Get into it. Yeah, well, you know what? Thank you guys. And because of my service, now I'm just sitting here in front of my house. I got to do a two-room house. So funny story. I was out. I'm camping. I told my daughter, I was like, "Hey, we're gonna go camping." She's like, what?" I was like, "Tent camping." I was like, "But on the plus side, you have it's a 2-room tent because it's got like that little flap in the middle." And she was like, "Well, good. At least I won't have to hear you snore." And I was like, "You're tracking that the wall is a silk little thing. It's still happening. You're still screwed." She wasn't happy, but whatever. Life's a bitch. Then you die and the bugs eat you, and that's how it goes. Anywho, Yeah, Joe, your story of Nick's awesome team leadership reminds me of
Empathy.
so my dad was in the Army.
Empathy.
My dad was in the Army. Empathy. I think it's called empathy. Let's say it's empathy. That's you have to enunciate the right syllable when you do it. So at one point, my roommate was getting bitched at by all the team leaders, and one of the team leaders like, "You think you got the fucking code book? You think you got the code book?" I told my dad that story, and he was like, "You know what you need to do?" I was like, "What?" He was like, "You need to get a piece of paper, fold it into fours, write code book on it, and then give it to them tomorrow morning before PT." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I should not do that. That would have been a really bad idea. They would have killed all of us because team leaders in the 82nd have zero chill the fuck out, and that's a real thing. None of them." So onto my honesty cap. So I'm camping this week with.
He's
What?
actually
What are you
really
doing,
homeless.
Nick?
He's actually really homeless.
Yeah.
We'll be setting up the GoFundMe later.
Yeah. GoFundMe,
Yeah.
Buddy Beckwith,
GoFundMe.
homeless,
Shit's gotten-
Green Beret gone
Shit's gotten
bad.
crazy.
I'm waiting to
Yeah,
hear
I'm
like a
actually-
Mossberg pump and get off my property.
You're special forces, buddy. Like, you're supposed to be
Special
elite.
forces,
And
my
it's okay to
ass.
talk about, buddy. That's why we do
Yeah.
this show. We're all here for each other.
I'm
Nobody's hating
living
on
in
you.
apocalypse now, guys. This is how it starts. This is how I build my network, and then I own most of East Tennessee because I just got like people.
Never heard
We're
of it.
all living in our little tent, running around, just ganking people.
What
I only
country
need
is
enough ammo.
Tennessee?
It's a damn sovereign country of Tennessee, I guess. You're the only
Tennessee,
10
what's that?
Now he's going to get us
Anywho,
banned.
onto
He's
that-
talking about the Buddy Militia.
Please tell my fucking honesty cap for like 2 seconds. Jesus Christ. Shut up, Nick.
Yeah.
You fucking nerd.
I wasn't even the one talking.
Somebody's triggered.
I'm getting
Dun,
triggered.
dun,
I am
dun,
getting-
dun,
oh.
dun.
So anyway, I met you guys. I don't know if you guys remember Matt Johnson. He was in Alpha Company.
What do you
and
mean, you
HHC.
guys?
You guys, all of you are in the same fucking battalion as I was. Let's
I
not
just want
act
to
like
make sure because I didn't see
Exactly
any
what
travel
I-
company like ever.
he was in
I
Alpha
used to
Company.
skip sixth period with
you.
Matt Johnson.
When you're the main effort, you don't really hang out with the other companies,
The main effort. You guys
Yeah.
were a supporting effort.
No,
Like,
whatever.
did you not see the? Oh, you guys didn't see the op order. You
Oh,
guys were the.
I think you meant shaping
entire time.
operation.
Oh, there goes Buddy. Listen,
Yeah.
that your phone,
No.
your phone's
We're
honesty
good.
cap. Shut your bullshit off.
No, we're good. You guys didn't see the op order. You guys were what we were. We used to call you guys bait. Like that's what it was. Like, hey, let's put the worm on the hook. The worm on the hook. That was code name for fucking first and second platoon.
Send
of
old Charlie Rock
Company.
route clearance out there.
Throw
No, that was called Reconnaissance Week. That was
Yeah.
never a bait.
Charlie Company out there. Let's see what fish bite.
Hey, buddy, do you got an honesty cap or what's holding
Yeah,
you
for
up?
the love of God,
Oh,
get your honesty cap.
We're still there.
You're like an old lady in a sewing circle.
So I'm hanging out with Matt Johnson and his family this week, and I'm telling you, like we've said it on this show before. Like we talk about like veteran suicide, we talk about mental health, we talk about all that stuff. Dudes, I'm telling you, like there's not enough to be said about linking up with your boys that you were in the Army with, and not just your boys, but your boys and their families. Their families become your family becomes their family. And you're still in the community. Like I talk to Matt quite a bit, but still every time it's the same as when we were 25 years old together, running around Fayetteville or Iraq or whatever, doing dirt. Like it's an awesome time. Labor Day weekend, I'm going back out to meet up with some other guys from Bravo Company, the best company in 2nd Battalion of the 505th Parachute.
Whatever melts your butter.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go meet up with them. The ones that were on call throughout Iraq. While you guys were just bogged down in one city, we went everywhere.
I heard you guys by the end of the
Whatever.
deployment. I heard you guys could clear the coffee bean in
I
like
think-
30 seconds.
I don't
They
think
called-
Barkuba was in Samara. I do not think Barkuba was in Samara. Just saying.
But Cuba, but no, it wasn't in tomorrow. It was worse.
You were in Turkey
But when-
Bowl.
but
you were in
instead-
Turkey Bowl 2. Okay.
You were
Not one,
enjoying salsa
not
night
one,
at
Turkey
Spiker,
Bowl
bro.
2.
Actually, we were in 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure.
Now
I was
pretty
on
sure you
leave
had
for
like
one
a
now.
squad
I
down
was
there.
on
You had a
leave for one. I
squad
was
guarding
scared.
the mortars.
I was super scared.
Buddy, what's the link to the GoFundMe for your homeless fund?
Yeah, and your
I found a
internet
couple of Bravo guys in a mail connex one time. They've been
Anywho.
sleeping in there for 6 months.
Oh, it's buy back a house. Buy back a house at GoFundMe. That's what it is. Anyway, now on to my second. Like, I don't know how Safety Dave escaped the fucking the fucking battalion. The fucking meet up with your boys, you fucking idiot! Jesus, stop fucking drinking before the show, Nick. Christ.
I'm on vacation.
Anywho, I went to on vacation. This one almost triggered me today. This one legitimately, I was this close to being triggered. We went to go tube the river, right? So by definition, you get into an inflatable
Nick
tube.
was in a
you
movie
get
called
into a
Tube the
river,
River.
you float down. That's deliverance, and that is not the same kind. Anyway, you float down, you drink beer, you do whatever, not a big deal. We get there, and they're like, here's your tube, here's your life jacket. And I was like, what the fuck do I need a life jacket for? I'm on a life preserver. Literally, if I were to drown, you would throw the thing I'm on to me.
Did
so
you
that
tell
I
them you
don't
were
drown.
scuba qualified?
Oh, I told them, I was like, I'm not wearing this. And
You
they're
said
like,
you're a veteran, didn't you?
oh, no, I definitely.
Who am I? Who am I?
I am a combat diver in the United States Army. If a picture is
I bet
taken
they love that.
on this stupid with a fucking life jacket on a tube, I will get made fun of until I have to do something crazy. So no, I will not. Here's your life jacket. Please take it. And then they made me, and so I just strapped it to the side and kept it moving. I did get a sweet paddle though, guys.
Hey,
Look at
that's a shirt waiting to happen. I'm a combat diver.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need a life vest. Like, that's
You should have done
coming.
the Jack Nicholson from As Good as It Gets and went, no, I'm not putting that on. In case you were wondering, I won't let you inject me with the plague either.
Okay, well, but now you change it. Like, I won't let you inject me with the vaccine either. Fucking nerds. It's
Well,
another
thank you,
story.
buddy.
Let's
Thanks, buddy.
recap-
Yeah.
That was good.
Let's
Yeah.
recap what Buddy
Buddy, that
said.
was-
if
Buddy,
that
that was
makes
breathtaking.
any sense of
Yeah,
that.
let's do it. Let's
I
recap.
think living out in the woods is starting to get to your head, man.
Blah, blah,
We love
blah,
you,
blah
bro.
From Nick, hang out with your boys. Blah, blah, blah from Nick. There's a place here that wants you to have 2 life jackets when you go down a 1-foot river.
So Buddy recapped that very solidly for us, and it's
So that he can introduce Flores, everyone.
that was a solid job. It's exactly what I would have said. I probably would have said blah blah blah, hang out with your boys, and then blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Why are you wearing 2 life vests? All right, that kind of goes into my book of Earl, but we're not going to get to that yet.
What is your book of Earl? Well, you can't do your book of Earl because you have to introduce
exactly?
Flores.
That's why I said we're not getting to that yet.
Well, then you should go ahead and introduce Flores. Everyone, Nick is going
You
to
should
introduce
mute.
Flores. Oh, you don't want me talking over you. Oh, I'm crazy.
Buddy has turned into a wild man.
It's
telling
really
you,
getting
we
to
have
him, man.
officially
He needs to get back to
triggered Buddy. Okay.
civil.
Now,
Yeah.
those of you that don't know who are watching for the first time on Gruntworks and Veteran Trash Talk and our YouTube channel, is Buddy is our Special Forces guy. All right. He's supposed to be the quiet professional. He's supposed to be the calm, the collective one. And I think you've shown, we have shown that everybody can get triggered. Okay. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter the amount of training that you have. It's literally, if we get that right nerve and we hit you with the right, all right, maybe the left. Okay. It's like, then it just happens. Okay. So we apologize to the audience for embarrassing the Special Forces community and triggering Master Sergeant.
Wait, should you say that again, Nick? What was that? Did you say embarrassed to the Special Forces community?
Yeah,
Is that what
right.
you said?
Works.
It's
So, and then that's
The judges will
another
accept it.
announcement I need to make is the baker who's hiding in the background, who you don't see his face.
Nobody
Okay.
sees the
He
baker
is
but us.
saying that there is thunderstorms rolling through his area. So in the event you lose us, oh well, enjoy.
Blame
your
the
Saturday.
baker. Is what he's saying.
Blame the baker. Okay. But anyways, we have a very, very special guest. And I have the privilege of introducing one of the greatest stories in our platoon office
Yep.
of all time. Of all time. So Buddy
Buddy spent a lot of time in platoon offices because he was a squad leader for like 16 years. All right. So
Special forces.
Impressive.
So I was a brand new squad leader, and Dave was the weapons squad leader, and I think it was the crazy Marine that was getting out. Mazingo was the platoon sergeant.
The zinger.
Right, the zinger. But this guy comes in, and he's Hispanic, right? And he comes in hard as shit, right? He comes in there and he's like, what's up, bro? And he's like, yo, right? And we're like, yo, what's up, Private First Class? You know? And he's like, we're like, where are you from? He's like, I'm from 17th Street, right? And we're like, okay, like, not sure what that means. I'm from Wisconsin. Dave's from Germany. Mazingo's from Virginia. Like, not like, don't know what 17th Street is. And you hear this knock on the door, right? And it's David Flores. Specialist Flores says, excuse me, Sergeant. And Sergeant Mazingo goes, what's up, Flores? He goes, can I speak to him in Spanish, please? And we're like, yeah, like, go ahead. And we don't know what he said. It was like hieroglyphics. We couldn't understand it, right? And
I thought it was Aramaic.
Something like it was the metric system. I think he used the metric system. I'm not sure, but whatever he said, that kid snapped to parade rest as fast as you could possibly fucking believe, and was like, "My name's Private First Class Nunez, and I'm from Riverside, California." And we were like, here's your new squad leader. Here's your team leader. Go read this book, and you're going to be a M4 gunner. And you're going to be an M4 guy. You're going to be rifleman. And we're like, Flores, get in here. Like, what did you say to him? Flores, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Trash Talk Hour. We do a lot of great things on this podcast, and we hardly ever have great success stories like you. I know you don't want to talk yourself up a lot. If you don't, we'll do it for you. So you might as well say, you know, where you're from, what you're doing. What did you say to that kid? And what makes you successful as a veteran? So Flores, welcome to the show. We love you. And man, welcome.
Cheers,
what do you got,
Flores.
brother?
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. So
Good to see you, big dog.
Yeah, good to see all of you, man. But to just jump right into it. Name is David Flores. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I was born and raised in East LA. Joined the military at the age of 18. You know, like every other idiot out there thinking that, you know what, I'm going to be a goddamn Ranger. I'm going to go into basic training. I'm going to go through Ranger school. And you know what? It didn't happen. So
Buddy's a Ranger.
I'm too fat, man. I couldn't do a pull-up.
They got a good diet program there. This is a good one.
The only thing I can max out everything at the time, but I could not do a goddamn pull-up to save my life. I can max out the run at the time, sit-ups, push-ups, could not pull myself up. Like one, I think that was it. And that only got me through airborne school. And that's all I needed. So somehow I ended up at the 82nd. I was fortunate enough to get there right as all of you got tricked into believing that you weren't going to deploy. You remember that? Yeah. I came in, they're like, oh, they're coming back because they had to go get their families again. We're not deploying. You thought you were going to deploy, but you're not. And then on my birthday, they gathered everyone outside the company, and they're like, guys, we're deploying. And everyone was pissed. I'm excited, but because, you know, brand new private, join the military, you know, destroy some terrorists, whatever, fuck it, go ahead. But everyone else had just already like redone all their plans, moved their families around, bring everyone back and everything. And now they're like, oh, we fucked with you, we lied, we're deploying. So that pissed everyone off. I ended up being the saw gunner with 2nd Platoon, 1st Squad. Why? Because the saw gunner at the time, and I don't remember his name. Some of you probably do. He might have accidentally taken way too many pills that on the day, and I know Dave remembers this. He has to know who the person is, because I don't remember who the guy is. But he takes too many pills.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, I go from having an M4 to Flores, you're the saw gunner. I'm a fucking saw gunner. So getting back to it, I know we're a little bit limited on time. You know, I had the privilege and pleasure.
We are not limited on time, Flores.
You got all day, buddy. You got all day.
Yeah, look, just a quick point to Buddy's, you know, first point was like, hey, chilling with friends, right?
Flores, real quick, everybody. Buddy is actively taking a shower now. That's how homeless.
That's how homeless he is. I just thought he was taking a shit in the way.
That's good, buddy. I just wanted to let the audience know. I had to point that out. Sorry, David.
Yeah, no.
I
saw him in the lake.
Flores, my 6-year-old little girl, when me and my wife are having a really important conversation, she dances around in the background, so we stop and pay attention to her too. That's just Buddy.
Yeah.
Keep on rolling.
Beckwith has a huge, insecurity and low self-esteem that it's like we have like one of the great success stories on the show, and he wants to go swim in a river while he's talking about it.
Hey, look, it's hot out here in these streets, guys. I'm listening to Flores.
He just got out of a van.
Shut up, buddy. Take your bath, okay? Shut up and take your bath.
And he had a saw gunner take a bunch of pills.
And so like going back to Buddy's point is that, look, he makes a great point about being able to hang out with the boys, especially when it comes to the people that you deployed with. I just saw Nick the other week, and it was just great to sit down. It's like we've never stopped talking. I don't talk to Nick.
Yep.
Quite frankly, I don't talk to a lot of people from the company that we deployed with a lot. But once we see each other, it's like nothing ever happened. That time, distance, years, none of that shit matters. All of a sudden, we're back like I was 18, like I was 19 and deployed. Like I still have 2 friends that I live closely, just happen to be in the same squad from the same platoon. Mike Baca and Miguel Anguiano both live at the moment right now. They all live like 20 minutes away from me.
I thought Anguiano was a federale.
No. He Anguiano just got back from Afghanistan, actually. So he's a California National Guard or reserve.
He's a warrant officer too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a warrant officer too. And then Mike Baca is a California National Guard as well. So it's just nice to, going back to Buddy's point, like to hang out with all of you guys, be able to just reminisce like old times. But so I ended up being the saw gunner in this deployment, and it was great. Before the deployment, I got the biggest goddamn scare of my life, dude. I have, I know Dave remembers this. He has to. I'm gonna remind you, but we had a little like training scheduled right around that same time frame, like July time frame. It was a long hike. It was like a 10-mile march, whatever, into some shooting ranges. It was great, right? For me, being a brand new private first class, I'm like, oh, this is what the Army's about. Let's go down range. Let's go do all these other things. Well, at some point, we were shooting dummy 203 rounds. And David knows exactly where I'm going with this. And yeah, some of you remember this too. And I'm the new guy, so they're just loading them. They're loading them, and I'm shooting them. One of these cartridges bounces back and somehow hits Dave right in the dick. This 203 cartridge bounces
fantastic!
And
I cannot believe you remember that.
And he is behind. He's actually behind the little like cable box, yeah. And somehow
it was the dummy 203 rounds.
Yeah, it was a dummy 203 round. And somehow, even though he's behind this box and this where I'm shooting is a couple like meters down the thing, it just somehow bounces and hits him right in the cock. And he is just down for the count. And at that moment, my life ended.
Dude, we were laughing so hard that he was like, he was in the fetal position, holding his junk, saying, "Everybody laughing, get the fuck down!" Like.
I was 500
push-ups
feet
as he's in the fetal position, holding his junk.
Hey, Nick, I was like 500 feet away, but I actually caught wind of what was happening because Dave hit a note like young Michael Jackson when that thing hit him. The pitch coming out of him when he was screaming at us, it sounded like something like Maxwell. It was like some really high, like the Weeknd when he does the high voice.
Ass off, like
get out!
Like, what the fuck?
Get the fuck down, you asshole!
I fucked everybody up within 360 degrees of me. Everybody was getting the fuck down.
That was beautiful.
Shout out to my beautiful daughter, Haley Flores. No worries. I still made a beautiful little girl afterwards. So I was good to go, man.
And that's what I was about to say. I'm like, look.
That shot knocked the balls off of him.
you still had kids. So somehow it all worked. But that's probably one of the scariest moments in my life. Out of everything we've experienced, that moment right there, being a brand new private, just hitting in your first NCO that's pretty much ever had any power over you, just right in the nuts. That's like made for TV type of thing. It was because the chances of that shot happening are how does that even happen? I don't know. And we heard them, right? You heard like these cartridges come back, bounce off, but they were way ahead of us. Somehow this one just decided to, you know what? Today's the day that I'm gonna hit Trenton in the balls.
Dude, it made a thump. It made a thump sound when it hit him in the nuts. It was literally
you know how many people you know how many people would love to have hit
it was one of the better things that had happened to me that month because I was so in Dave's crosshairs when Flores jumped on that grenade for me. Like I knew that morning, I know exactly what day he's talking about. I knew that morning that if I didn't kick ass on this ruck march, Dave was going to smoke my bags when I got to the range because I already missed a DUI call out the weekend before in Charlotte. So and I remember Dave telling me I was doing well that day, and then Dave gets hit in the nuts, and I'm like, Flores just took the main seat for me. No, I'm no longer on Dave's radar because I didn't hit him in the balls.
So that's probably one of the greatest things, and that was only like
wonderful.
I was only in the unit for like maybe a month before we headed out, but we head out, and one of the things I realized is as the years go along, man, like I still reminisce on everything that happened, in that first deployment. Obviously, we had the second deployment, and it was great, but it was more like just up and down, a couple things. Things were stressful, funny stories. But at the end of the day, like we all remember that first deployment. That's like the one that has the most impact on my life.
How did you feel about the second one, though, Flores? Like that's a good thing you brought that up because Nick and I feel like personally, I feel like the second one I was more fucked up than from the first one. And maybe it was because of the PTSD from the first one, but that second one had me all fucked up. I mean, we didn't even fire our weapon once. I know I didn't. I don't think really anybody in our platoon really did. Well, maybe at the front gate.
Company deployment.
Yeah. Well, they lived in that dirt. Where did they live? Yeah. Wherever, junkyard or whatever.
SUJ, right there by Solder City.
Yeah.
Where that well,
I mean,
for some of us it was the third deployment.
Buddy, do a quick show everybody your home.
Yeah,
show everybody your home, buddy. Just like,
yep. Where all the magic happens.
There it is, gentlemen.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, there it is.
Little mallet. There we go.
Hey,
the mallet.
Hey, Flo.
Back to Flo though.
Yeah,
that second deployment fucked me up even more, man.
Yeah, like I gotta go with Dave there, where it's like, remember we were sitting on those checkpoints, and I was like, why are we not getting blown up yet? Like we need to move. We need to move right now. And it's like, no, you're staying there. It's like, no, we're not. We're moving. And it's like it was literally driving us insane, just sitting in the same spot.
For fucking 8-9 hours at a time, dude.
It was brutal. Yeah, but hey, Flo, what?
That second deployment though is the one that's actually going to kill you guys and going to kill us, because that was the one. I don't know about you guys, but for Bravo Company, we lived in that burn pit for the whole year.
Yeah, we were at Comp 799, buddy. We were in a shitty place too.
Yeah, okay. So I mean, that's the one that's actually going to kill us.
Our
yeah.
When the trash pit was
You're
50
absolutely
feet
right.
before my headlight.
No, but hey, Flo, what did you say to that young private who wanted to say he was from 17th Street?
So,
and if you don't mind, go into a little bit about where you're from and I'll tell it for you if you don't want to, but I would rather you tell it. but the courage it took to get out of where you came from and make yourself
I grew
better.
up in, kind of getting to Nick's point. I grew up in East LA, right? It's if you hear all the movies, all the Hispanic movies, whatever, you have like this kind of like gang infested area. It's like that. It used to be like that. By the time I was there, there's still a lot of like bad things going on here or there, but it's been a little bit cleaned up. Most people just kind of toned down a little bit. But when Nunez spoke up and he was mentioning that he was from like some particular crew, or I'm like, dude, essentially what I told him is like, no one cares, like my family, friends and everything that have connections to, and I told him to like particular gangs and everything else, which is why he just gave me a look, and I'm just like, no one cares, man. You are in the biggest gang in the world, which is the United States military. Like there is no one out there here. Your gang does not exist. There is no blood loyalty to what you think your gang has a part of here. They might say it, they might pay lip service to it, and they have great propaganda like any other gang out there. They're like, yeah, we're brothers for life, but push come to shove, man, there is no family and there's no true loyalty like the people that you serve with on a deployment.
I love that shit, dude. Gives me goosebumps.
Very true.
Quite
frankly, 100%.
And that's the reason, like, I have, there's two people that I serve with in the same platoon, same squad, and that live near me. If I ever need anything from anyone for whatever reason, like I have family issues or I just need someone to talk to, there is no shame with me reaching out to them, none whatsoever. And just based on the proximity, I'm able to talk to them about anything. When I've had rough times, when I've, questioned what I'm doing, like, why am I even wasting my time doing what I'm doing? Or, there's some rough patches that go along to that. And so I reached out to them, and you know what they said? They're like, it'll be all right. They didn't try to give me like coaching lessons or do this or do that, or these are your 5 steps to fucking make your life better, whatever. They're like, it's going to be all right. That's all I want to hear.
Flores, that's fucking goddamn phenomenal. And that's, we talk about that, dude, we're all brothers and sisters. Doesn't matter skin color, fucking race, wherever you fucking came from,
Critical race
fucking
theory.
family.
Well, yeah, if we're getting into that,
And
if everybody did things the way the military did it, there wouldn't be any racism.
Yep.
And that's the thing, because at the end of the day, I felt that, like, do I understand that there may be some fucking obstacles that people have to overcome because of their skin color? Yeah, dude, we're not stupid. We don't turn a blind eye to what we know to exist. And we know if you're smart enough and you're well read, you understand that there's a fucking historical record of shit that has gone down that probably hasn't favored one specific race or another. But that's not an American issue. That's just a worldwide issue across the world. Like, everyone's faced that. But the point is, like, for myself, who, statistically speaking, I should have had a kid by the time I was like 18 or 19 and married and done this and X, Y, and Z. I've been fortunate enough not to be part of those statistics. But that has to do with some part of personal accountability, not something that I knew back when I was, 18 or 19. But the one thing that the military taught me, and I know it's taught most of you, is some form of fucking discipline, dude. Because when I was in school, it's not like I wasn't smart or I couldn't do X, Y, and Z. I just didn't have the discipline to actually do the goddamn work. And I paid for it on the other end when I finally decided to go to school. After my 2 deployments, and I give it, and I was telling this to Nick last week, is for anyone that's gone onto their second contract, third contract, that has retired with the military, man, my props are out to you, because there's a lot of people that come in, and I felt like I did my time, I served my country, I still flagged I joined the California National Guard afterwards, and it was a great experience with them, but my heart and soul still goes with the 82nd. Because it taught me what it was like to be a man, quite frankly, because I didn't have that father figure growing up. And unfortunately, when I joined the military, I somehow inherited a bunch of great brothers from it. Now, mind you, I know I'm talking a lot of great things about the military, but there were also some really fucking horrible people in there. Just like anywhere in the U.S., just like
any organization, any business.
Like any organization. We see them everywhere. But, you know, the military was able to, you know, after my time was there, time was up, you know, April 17th, 2010, I was out. I signed my paperwork. I got in the car and I drove cross country back to California, you know, back to the family and everything. And but everything that I learned from you guys, from my experiences, you know, from being around each and every one of you, helped me get my fucking degree, dude. You know, and because of that, I met, you know, I became great friends with Mike Baca, who happened to also, you know, wanted to go back to California. We were both from there. And it was great, man. So one of the things that people, when they come out, and I hear a story from veterans a lot, that, you know, it's really rough for them to come out afterwards, right? So my story really goes for the people that are, you know, did their 5 years, you know, 4 years, or maybe a second enlistment and all that, and then they get out, and then they're like, okay, what the fuck is next, right? You're 18, you came in, you got, you know, you got training experience with weapons, you learn how to lead, but what's next? You know, what do you do? I was very lucky that I paired up, you know, I know this is stupid, but you're like that battle buddy concept is I went and I got with Mike Baca and we went back to Santa Monica. I didn't go back to East LA because I knew I wasn't doing anything there anyway. And Mike just like, you know what, we're good friends. Let's stick to this. And we went back to school. And what did we do, man? I studied and I studied every day, man. I really didn't party. I didn't go out. I drank. I'm not gonna deny that part. I drank a lot.
And you are a paratrooper. As long as you're getting it done, it doesn't matter if you have a beer or two, right?
Yeah, and it's one of those
Or
moments, man, where I would, I kid you not, I would do calculus, like on a Friday night. I was doing my homework while sipping down a full bottle of Jack, and somehow remembering what I learned for that day. It doesn't work well now. Like now I'm 33, I'm turning 34, and it doesn't work that well anymore. I get 1 or 2 drinks and I'm just like, I'm done. I can't think anymore. I'm gone for the day. But when I was 23, 24, man, I can polish a bottle of whiskey and it was like a nice sweet nectar. But yeah, man, I go in there and I just study, man. And you know what sucks is you come out, and after we did the whole community college thing with Mike Baca and everything, and you know, I ended up going to USC. You know, it was a dream school for me. It was great, man. I went and I studied accounting, and you know, I do taxes now, man. It's not like I'm nothing. Now people tell me like, oh, you know, veterans, especially because I've met plenty of veterans at these community colleges and at USC, and they're like, oh, accounting's not for me. Accounting's not for me. I was like, fuck, it's not for you then. Then like, oh, and they're asking, how can you do it? I was like, I don't know, bro. It's paper, pencil. You know, I learned something and I apply what I learned, like anything else. But that's the thing, man. And you know, one of the things that I talk about with Nick, especially, you know, for people like us who did their 5 years or 4 years and then got out, is was a part of my mentality when I was doing the whole recruiting process. I realized that a lot of veterans and that come out, you know, thank you for your service type of thing, they fail to realize one thing, man, is you're not owed anything outside of what you were given in your contract. You know, I was owed my GI bill, right? I am owed my education for serving my country. That's our mutual contract. But I think a lot of veterans come out and whether it pisses them off or not, you know, I don't really give a shit, is you think you come out.
Tell them to come see if they got a problem.
Yeah, I'm like, they come out and.
It sounds like there's an echo in here.
they fucking come
like
out.
We've said this before.
They want to get like the best job, right? I'm like, bro, you were an infantryman, and let's say it was the 82nd. What the hell do you have experience in consulting, bro? How do you want to go to like a Boston Consulting Group or a McKinsey, just having nothing but what, an experience in some degree? Like, and not even that, you don't even have the highest GPA. You barely scraped by going to a school. You probably only got to the school because of your veteran status half the time. Because I met some of these vets and they're like, oh yeah, I got in with a 2.7. I'm like, man, When I came in, I got in with a 3.9, and I still question whether I was going to get in or not. I'm like we're not built.
That's that entitlement that we talk about, Flores. We talk about that all the time on our show. Is they don't take your service and come out and be like, "Here's my golden ticket." Use it as something that strengthens your resume, and then go fucking prove yourself. I guarantee you had to pay your dues no matter where you went. Right?
Exactly. And a lot of these veterans come out, and what they fail to realize is like, look, dude, if you only served that first stint, like that first 4 or 5 years, you're gonna go back to the bottom level again and have to go all the way to the top. This advice right here, these points aren't for someone like that has served 20 plus years. If you served your 20 plus years, more likely than not, you'll be picked up by like a job like Amazon. You'll work at a warehouse. You'll lead a team. You have 20 years of experience, man. You probably deserve what most veterans who have only spent 5 years think that they deserve, right? You get a veteran coming out after retirement, they get a cushy job, 6 figures right off the bat. A veteran who served 5 years, who was, no offense to our cooks, but maybe was a cook, whatever, did nothing else, and you're like, I need a 6-figure job. No, you don't. What the fuck are you going to teach? What school did you go to? What were your grades? Who was your network? How did you build yourself? And to Joe's point is, at least how I like to recruit is, or I like how when I'm talking about myself is, I want to be able to, at least on paper, present, look at all the great things I've done. And the cherry on top is also, by the way, I happen to be a veteran. As opposed to, I'm a veteran, give me a job.
Thank you for your service.
Did they tell you when you got to the Deuce, because you were my first roommate? Did they tell you when you got to the Deuce that you fit the cookie cutter standard for what a paratrooper looks like? Did you not always have to prove yourself, even when we first got going in the 82nd? I mean, the thing I remember about you is everybody's always thinking, giving you a hassle because you're a big dude, but you always did the fucking work. That was the thing that eventually you won everybody over, because you could always do the job, but at first they took
Flores was way more squared away than you, Joe. Flores was way more.
You goddamn right he was. He was. Listen, this comes
Flores
from our fellow Saw Gunner.
As a child, okay, Joe was not. Joe was out there rapping.
Well, it's like the Dagestan. It's like the
Dagestan. Combat. I'm talking about Garrison right now as well. I'm talking about Garrison.
Nick, it's like we say about kids from Dagestan. They don't worry about tablet time.
Like Joe spent more time in Charlotte than.
Hey, do you hear me? Hey, yeah. Hey, this comes from a fellow Saw Gunner, Flo. Nothing is given. That's for damn sure. If you want it, you have to go work for it. Preston Paris just commented that.
Poor brag.
Yeah.
Do you remember that dude?
Hold on. Did you guys? Did he just say a fellow Saw Gunner? Because you guys didn't make the cut to be a 240 gunner? Nice.
No, that is wrong. Flores was a 240 gunner in my weapons squad.
Hey, remember, I got the Saw because someone else decided to go see God a little bit earlier, all right? They tried to do their thing and they didn't work out for them. So I just got fucked with the Saw. I didn't even I ended up in the 240.
Buddy's just mad because nothing he carried. Buddy's just mad because nothing he carried in 06 or 07 had any carbon.
Buddy carried a 9mm Chow Hall. That's what Buddy carried. So
Buddy's big thing was
where does PT belt walking in a Chow Hall with his 9mm?
That could have gone off. That would have been unsafe.
Yeah, buddy
is it salsa night tonight, or is it hip hop night, or country music night? What is it tonight?
So, hey, in Buddy's defense, all right, he did go do better things. He went and did special forces, did all this other stuff, but all of that was to make up.
He's still
for
talking. That's the best part.
What he missed out on.
And he's still talking.
So triggered right now. You're so triggered right now. It's great.
Stop it.
You got
nobody can hear, buddy. It's okay. We apologize again for the angry homeless vet. Buddy Beckwith.
I can't hear him.
We love him to pieces, but we apologize to all our viewers and listeners. Yeah.
Tapping.
He's gone off the rail.
I'm tapping out.
He's trying to talk.
I'm
Probably
tapping out.
saying something
Shut him down.
really phenomenal. He's probably saying something
You know
really
those
phenomenal.
years old golden doors?
Are you
Were they
coming through
there
now,
when you
buddy?
got there? Because they were when you left.
Okay, so like I said, Buddy probably said something super phenomenal.
I think his
but-
phone got wet when he was
but
bathing.
none of
earlier.
us heard it. So like that whole triggered rampage just went on was probably hilarious, and we just didn't hear it. Okay, so take a look at those, and but so when we were thinking about it, I was like, hey, let's bring Flores on the show, and again, we've covered this multiple times, and I think it's going to have to be covered until the day that we die. Is that again what he everything Flores just said is some real shit. Okay, nobody owes you anything. Okay, the Army owes you, the Air Force, the Navy, they owe you your VA benefits, they owe you the GI Bill. But what you do with that GI Bill and those benefits is on you. And Flores, what school did you go to again?
I went to USC.
Oh, okay. So yeah, like not like Excelsior where I got my bachelor's, right? Like or like Southwest New Hampshire University. Okay, you went to USC and you did something. You did something great, and we applaud you for that. You are a role model for us as well. So it's like that is what you're supposed to do with the benefits that you earned. Okay, nobody gave them to you; you earned them. So again, we applaud you for that.
Buddy, it can be done.
Buddy,
can
Buddy
be
right
done.
now is researching how to be a team leader at Amazon because he's about to get out. And Flores said that Buddy is like,
Yep.
Amazon,
Yep.
shit.
My application is already into Amazon to be a driver of some sort. I just want to drive their little truck from wear some shorts. It's cool.
And old Victor Paez is
You
probably
get bit by
watching.
dogs.
He makes a lot of money. But the Baconator's been on Gruntworks this whole time, and he's commenting. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting, keeping the chat going. Desiree Freeman says, "Good school, USC." I mean, their football programs went a little bit in the decline, but that's okay. I think
They did play in the greatest college football game ever played in my mind.
With Vince Young?
USC Texas.
Yeah, with Vince Young. Yeah,
That was what a game.
But
yeah.
So I got a really, really quick book of Burl. All right, it kind of goes with what Buddy was talking about on his second point. Does anybody remember what Buddy's second point was?
Don't worry.
Swimming in the river.
It was
Don't
Swimming
wear
in the river.
safety.
Don't wear two
The
life
safety
vests,
people and
right? Like don't wear two
That's it,
life
swimming
vests.
in the river.
All right, so here I have a logical question for the Gruntworks and the veteran trash talk community that's watching. And oh, by the way, go on our stores, all right, gruntworksclothing.com and put in VTTGW, get a discount. Go on shop.veterantrashtalk, get that discount. Gotta do it. Oh, and by the way, Bucks in 6, baby. Okay, I've never seen the Bucks in the NBA Finals. All right, and I'm in Wisconsin right now on vacation. And shout out to the Wind Lake Dogs and Muskego people out there that are hooking me up and helping me have a good time. But real quick, I want a logical discussion here, if we can have one, which means, Buddy, you have to think a little bit. All right, so if the CDC says that masks are no longer needed because those of you who have chosen to protect yourself from the coronavirus, you're good. All right. And those of you who have not, you're running the risk. So that's what the science says. So when all of these counties like LA County, All right. Uber, you know, these people say you have to wear a mask. What for? All right. Are we still following the science? Or are we just going to try to control people again? Not quite sure. I want the discussion because Fauci said to wear 2 fucking masks. Okay? Not 1, but 2. So why aren't these counties that are saying, hey, we're going back to masks? Why aren't they telling us to wear 2? I really don't know. So I leave it to the group. I need a lot.
I believe there's been a very deliberately gray line drawn, and the indifference is 100% deliberate. That's how I feel. But yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Can I take this one?
Go ahead, buddy.
Those people that, yeah, I have. Can you hear me? Are we good? All of those people that are telling us what to do, we have forgotten that they are not in charge of a fucking thing. They work for us. So if we decide as a collective that we want to wear masks, then fine, let's wear masks. But if we decide we're not going to wear masks, or we decide that it's not within their purview to make us do something, then just don't do it. Now, if you're going to, I would argue personally, if you're going to a hospital, wear a mask. Honestly, when you think about it in retrospect, if you're going to a hospital, maybe wearing a mask before that would have been a good idea because it's gross. It's a fucking hospital. Everybody's fucking sick. That being said, if I'm going to Walmart, I'm not wearing a mask. Now, if somebody in Walmart that works there says, hey, sir, you have to wear a mask in there, then I'm going to go, you know, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I'm going to go. I'll go someplace else. I'll take my business there. If Uber wants me to wear a mask, fine. I'll call a cab. Economically, we hold them to do whatever we want them to do because they work for profit. If we don't give them profit, then they can no longer do the things that they're trying to do. They can't say you have to wear a mask. They're going to do what we allow them to do. The problem is that we have, for lack of a better term, pussified the populace of the United States, and people won't just, you know how funny it is
did
to
you just
wear a
say,
mask
for lack of a better word, pussified?
Yeah. To make weak, if you would like. That being said, it's hilarious to walk into a place where other people are wearing masks and don't wear a mask, and then watch as people look at you, their eyes get kind of big, and then you see them like slyly take their mask off because they don't want, and that's how subversion works, guys. You don't wear your mask even when they tell you to wear your mask. And when they say, hey, you got to put a mask on, you put your mask on for about 5 minutes and then you take it off again. I'm going to kill this kid. I'm going to push this kid.
You won't do it. You won't do it. Hey, I will send you a check. I
Billy's
will send you a check right now if you took him out on the Trash Talk Hour.
What are you doing? Anyway,
hey, that's actually happened. I've seen that happen in public where somebody comes in with no mask and 3 or 4 people watch that guy and they pull their mask off too. And it's like, dude, here's my take on it. Do what you're gonna do, but for the love of God, believe in what you're doing. Like, wear the mask and say, I'm just gonna wear it, or don't. But don't go in there with that mask on like a sheep just because you think you're not allowed if you don't wear it. Take the fucking thing off and go in. Because what we say all the time on this show is, we're not judging, but COVID will judge your ass. So
judge your fat ass.
If you're in good, judge your fat ass. Yeah, we do say that. But if you believe you don't need a mask, then don't walk into a place that's wearing them and put some on just to be one of the group. Just do whatever. It's not illegal. You can go in and get service no matter what they say. But if you're going in there with a mask on and you see a guy without a mask, you're still just being a follower. like do what you believe in doing and just stick to it. That's it's kind of what Buddy's saying.
Yeah, they did a survey in California, and that's kind of where I got after it. Was they don't like when you're not wearing a mask in public. It's not that they get mad at you for not being safe. They actually get mad at you for not being obedient. Like that is, the study they did in California, and it's again, if you're wearing a mask because you trust the science, why aren't you wearing two? All right?
Yes,
because the science
has anybody. Hey, have any of you ever Googled pictures from pandemics in the past, like the Spanish flu or any of the real pandemics, the Black Plague, any of those? Where are the wheelbarrows of bodies that are supposed to be around with all the other pandemics? Like, where are the people that are dropping dead on like everywhere?
Yeah, there should be cars on the side of the street, like people dying.
People
so
just
I know we kind of stole. I kind of stole the thunder from Flo on this, and I apologize, but it's a hot topic issue. But he also is a Californian, right? So,
the science in itself? I compare it to all the different states and how every single state operates in a different way.
Aliens.
Yeah, and the aliens, of course. But states that were wide open compared to states
Beat me to it, Nick.
That were completely closed. And you look at some of these places like Florida, Arizona, and you look at some of these places with the biggest restrictions, and then you look at the death ratio and stuff in the population or people that were affected, because COVID is real. I don't care what people say. Like there's a tinfoil hat people that say COVID is not a thing. No, it's fucking real. However, I just don't think it's as big as it's made out to be. And
it's a virus.
Correct.
It's more manageable. It's more manageable.
Like why weren't we were just talking about dead people in the streets and what Buddy just said. We just talked about dead people in the streets and what Buddy just said. Like why weren't all the homeless people like just falling over and dying? Like they were out in the streets all the time.
Hey, didn't your boy make a movie about that?
That is true. They made a good fucking movie about that. You're right. Shout out to Combat Veteran. But
Combat Veteran, go check them out, man. Combat Veteran on they got a new app. They're getting off the Facebook nipple, and they got a great app. So go check them out. And then again, Dave, do you remember that plug I told you to say?
Oh, we ended it already?
I mean, yeah. We got to go drink. I'm on vacation.
We were just in the conversation. No, but I
started it.
Okay. Buddy had one more thing to say.
That was the most ADD ending of any show we've ever had. Like, so anyway, Nick, Purple Bicycles, you got that plug at the end. Let's do this.
Hey, Flores, you got anything else to say, brother?
Guys, thank you for the invite. I appreciate it. Nick, it was great to see you. Dave, Joe. Oh, man, I can't wait to see you again in person, man.
Hey, brother, thanks for coming on. And, we really haven't talked. I think we messaged each other a couple times, but just watching you on Facebook and seeing where you're at in life right now and accountability. That's all it is. Hopefully Buddy will take some from that today and we can get him out of his tent. We can get him back into a house. Again, we're here for you, Buddy. After this show, we will
running
be
water
posting a link,
electricity.
all right, to the GoFundMe for Buddy. He's showering in the lake, or taking a bath. It's pretty bad. Just look at him. And then, you could hear him earlier.
The man served
screaming.
this country. Let's get him a house.
Yeah. He's just losing his mind. For everybody that's watching, go check out veterantrashtalk.com. All right. That's our website. It has all the links to, our podcast, YouTube, all that good stuff. It has a link to our shop. All right. Shop.veterantrashtalk.com. We have some amazing merch. All right. Amazing tees. We got some toys on there, the Trash Talk button. And remember, part of our proceeds go to Stop Soldier Suicide, who we're partnered with. And then I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Zach Farkas, with the Veteran Mortgage Source. Okay. He will be hosting a live Q&A on the first Wednesday of every month. Okay. It's going to be on Gruntworks. All right. It'll be on VTT. We'll be pushing out the timelines for that, and we'll be doing a lot of posts. But hey, if you're in the business of buying a home, you want to get a VA loan, Zach Farkas is the man to hit up. He's going to give you all the info. Love y'all. Have a happy Saturday. I'm out. Boom.
do we turn to? Veteran trash talk. Where do we turn to? Veteran trash talk. Where do we turn to? Veteran trash talk. Bravely every morning. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bravely every morning. One day I'm okay, next day darkness. One day I'm okay, next day darkness. One day I'm okay, next day darkness. Bravely every morning. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bravely every morning. Past is the past, so be forgiven. The past is the past, so be forgiven. The past is the past, so be forgiven. Bravely every morning. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bravely every morning. Let's fight, don't quit, call that in order. Let's fight, don't quit, call that in order. Let's fight, don't quit, call that in order. Bravely every morning. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bravely every morning. Raise a glass for those we're missing. Raise a glass for those we're missing. Raise a glass for those we're missing. Bravely every morning. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bravely every morning. That's what we do in Veteran Trash Talk. That's what we do in Veteran Trash Talk. That's what we do in Veteran Trash Talk. Bravely every morning.